Adventures After, exciting new weekly series, Hey Disney Top 10, where we've launched this new series that is a podcast-style discussion each Wednesday. So we're coming to you live each Wednesday to explore various top 10s about Disney, whether it be Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise, anything that involves Disney, you know we're bringing it to you in a top 10 style. So, as we discussed last week, this is inspired by the new Hey Disney Alexa, I am not saying her name, so we don't turn her on, that can be found in the Walt Disney World resorts. Just like that Hey Disney feature, our discussions are aimed to provide insights, to offer recommendations, and anything as a virtual concierge for you as you understand each form of this Disney discussion, just like the Hey Disney does. Our Happily Adventures After top 10 topics cover everything between attractions, dining, travel, hidden gems, whether it be, like I said, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise, you name it, we've got it coming to you. This is going to be a follow-up to our debut Hey Disney Top 10, which was Magic Kingdom. So, in honor of going in Walt Disney World park building order, we are headed over to Epcot today. Woo! Yeah, Epcot! For a brief little overview, Epcot was officially opened on October 1st, 1982. It has provided the opportunity for guests to transport themselves into the world of a future while learning about worldwide cultures, providing festivals such as art, music, food. You can never forget the food. There's so much food at Epcot. Oh, my word. Drinks and culture. What was originally coined as the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, also known as Epcot, was just once an idea for a futuristic living community, but it now provides an everlasting, joyful experience of wonder, learning, exploration, creativity, and so much more for all guests alike. Epcot's current lands are World Celebration, World Discovery, and World Nature, as well as World Showcase. And this provides a little peek into Walt Disney's dream of the original community that he had envisioned for Epcot, which was actually a place for people to grow, live, learn, all of that while on Disney property. And then it showcased a little bit more as it was developed and built out into what we know as Epcot today. So with that, we really are excited to provide you Happily Adventures After Hey Disney Top 10 for Epcot. So, as Peter Pan says himself, here we go! In no particular order, here is our Epcot Top 10. So, our first up here is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I know I said this is in no particular order, but oh my goodness, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my number one. As well as everybody I know's number one ride, attraction, or roller coaster. So this is an absolutely incredible, one-of-its-kind roller coaster. My family and I adore this ride to no end. I remember being on this ride for the first time with my entire family, and we were quite speechless getting off of this ride. We were sitting there all excited because we had seen kind of what was going on. We had seen the YouTube videos, like, oh my goodness, okay, what's this gonna be? What is it gonna be like? We actually got Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and that is my favorite song. I've written it, and I think I've gotten all of them. However, I just want to say this one makes you feel like you're floating. Just the way the music goes with the ride itself, it makes you feel like you're floating, and it just is perfect. So this show provides, and it is a show. I am going to say it's an attraction, it's a roller coaster, but it is a show. It's a production. It provides these incredible show scenes with Terry Crews as basically bringing you into, my apologies, the world of Guardians of the Galaxy. I also call him Terry Jeffords from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I know that's just a character, but it was such a fun thing to see because I'd actually gotten into watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine there. That is a side story in itself, but it's just really fun to see. It provides an incredible pre-show, and it's a one-of-a-kind omni-mover attraction roller coaster. So the way that Haunted Mansion moves and things like that. So it is on an ever-flowing track. It can move in different directions, but it's actually a roller coaster. And they do this to allow you to see various things and direct your attention to where they need you to see. So at some points you go forward, backward, side to side, and it can be nausea-inducing for some people, I will say. However, I get very motion sick on rides. I take the Canadian equivalent of Dramamine, Gravel. There we go. I take a Gravel with ginger in it right before I go on. I'm good. So it helps a lot. As I said, my favorite song is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. However, there are 6 in total that you are able to hear as you're on this attraction. I've pretty much gotten all of them. As I said, you feel weightless as you're going through the cosmos of the galaxy. You're helping the Guardians and you hear all their little jokes and silliness inside. And to me, it is absolutely one of the best attractions I have seen. And it is currently the only Marvel attraction in Walt Disney World due to the Marvel licensing agreement that they have between Walt Disney World and Universal. So with that, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is one of a kind, and it will forever be one of my favorites and most incredible rides. Next up, which is number 2 on the list, is the fish and chips from the Yorkshire County Fish Shop. So this is actually a quick service meal that you can get in the England Pavilion. So it's kind of fun. My name is London. I like to go there because it's supposed to be set in London, among other places in England. But these fish and chips are one of the Happily Adventure After team's favorite. So they're super tasty. They're super crispy. They're not what you would put, for instance, in an air fryer. They would go in an actual vat of oil. And that is what I like. I do not like fish in general, but I really do like this. My mom and I enjoy these. My cousin, for instance, when she had them with us, she enjoys these. It's very good. I will say though, however, my mom has had these more often than I have. And the last time she didn't enjoy them as much. She said they sat there for a while. It tasted like they sat there for a while and they were a little bit soggy. So it could be a luck of a draw with a quick service, as well as it's like many fast food restaurants. You know how you can go to McDonald's. Sometimes you get really fresh fries and burgers. Sometimes you don't. It just depends. However, I will say that these fish and chips are excellently done. And it's really nice to also sit and eat them overlooking the little lagoon and at the tables outside. Only thing that sucks is it is outdoor dining, so if you're caught in the Florida weather, you have no place to eat them. But for the most part, they're always a great treat for my family and I whenever we stop to get them. All right, third on this list is the American Dream Slushie, only to be served with a Mickey pretzel and cheese, specifically when we are watching a concert. So back at Fife and Drum and the American Pavilion in World Showcase at Epcot, you can find this very classic theme park snack. So when I say very classic, it's a slushie, a pretzel with cheese. It's nothing special, but I will say that it is one of my favorite things ever. I love the American Dream slushie, so does everyone that I go to Disney with. It's basically a frozen Fanta wild cherry, so red, vanilla ice cream, white, and frozen Fanta blue raspberry slushie, which is blue. And blue raspberry is my personal favorite part of this. And it's all layered, as you can see if you go to the blog post that corresponds with this and other Epcot blog posts we have on Happily Adventures After, just to see what it looks like. And so this slushie, when I purchase it, we combine it and get a Mickey pretzel paired with the cheese. You cannot have it without the cheese, and it has to be hot because they do serve it too hot. I have had it cold. Still good, but not as good. And it's like that plastic nacho cheese that is not good for you, not healthy in any way. But my word, it is the most classic like theme park snack, but I love it. It is a go-to whenever we are in Epcot, and we always, even though there's excellent food all the way around, we always stop to go here to grab our slushie with cheese and pretzels, and we like to sit and watch whatever concert is going on over at the America Gardens Theater. Sometimes we have sat and enjoyed a concert. Sometimes we've actually just sat there. We've also taken it to other areas just of Epcot and enjoy the relaxation, as well as this incredible staple here at Epcot. I cannot highly say more, or say more highly, I don't know about this treat, but it most certainly is something we love and enjoy. Next up, at number 4 on our list, but in no particular order, we have Soarin' Around the World. So Soarin' is a flight simulator that brings you high in the sky. You are able to experience the thrills of soaring above the global landmarks such as the Eiffel Tower, the Swiss Alps, and so many more as you embark on a high-flying journey of the world's wonders. I love this because it is, first of all, coined as Disney, for instance, theme park vloggers and bloggers. They coin it as your mom's favorite attraction because everybody's mom loves this. I have to say, I think it's great. I think it's such a sweet ride because you sit in this like hang glider airplane style ride and you're just floating above. It's such a peaceful ride that provides just a little bit of a thrill only because you're sitting so high up. And I know everybody will discuss that your views are skewed if you're not looking at the screen in a certain spot. So everybody tries to get, I think it is row A, column 2, or something along those lines. However, honestly, I don't care that the Eiffel Tower leans a little bit when I sit there if I'm in the very back on the side. I just think it's such a nice ride, and I love that. It's a little bit 4D because you get the smells, and one of it, I think it is Fiji that they use. It smells so good, and I believe there's Bath and Body Works soaps. I am not 100% what the smell is, but I know it when I smell it when I get the summer Bath and Body Works soaps that smell like it. Oh, it is amazing. It also kind of smells like Hawaii, so work with me on that one. If you know what it is, please comment it so I can remember it. And I also understand that this ride is not exclusive to Epcot, as it's in Disney's California Adventure, Shanghai Disneyland, and Tokyo Disney Seas in a variety of forms, but I do have to say I love this attraction. It's a lovely flight in itself. It's not like taking an actual airplane ride. It's just lovely. I also like hearing the joy from other guests around it, especially riding for the first time. You hear the, oh my, do you see it? And it's just so fun, and you can see the reactions of people's faces, and everybody's usually quite happy when they got off the ride. And I also love the score to this. It's a lovely, lovely musical score that they've done, and I think it is one of the better ones for an attraction, and I often play it at home. So that is why we love this ride at Epcot. So our next step is Connections Cafe Coffee, which I'm going to start here and say, does this remind anyone of Stick to the Status Quo from High School Musical? The way it is set up, and the way when you walk in, if you're coming into the Starbucks either way and you see the set of stairs, does this remind anybody of Stick to the Status Quo? Because I could do the whole musical number here for I could do it for you. I am not kidding. I know all the choreography, and it so badly reminds me of Stick to the Status Quo. But that is not why it's on this list. So it's purely a Starbucks location. I'll be honest. Connections Cafe Coffee is just a Starbucks location. And everybody will talk about how you should go to Joffrey's Coffee because that is an exclusive to Walt Disney World, and how it is a Florida-made coffee brand who has partnered their rights with them. And it's really good coffee. We have Joffrey's at home all the time. We go down to Home Sense, which is the Canadian version of Home Goods, and we purchase it when it is there in abundance. However, I personally prefer Starbucks in the parks. Just me. I really like Starbucks and their coffee and all the treats that they have. And I have to say, this is probably one of the best on property. I will cover every Starbucks location for you. You think I won't, but trust me, I will. However, this and another two rival for my favorite Starbucks on property. I think it's because it's such wide open space. I just stumbled over my words. My apologies. As well as you're able to see the Connections Cafe eatery food being made to the side. The cast member service here is always spot on, always kind. They go out of their way. They're very sweet. And I always stop here. Some of the other Starbucks locations within Walt Disney World, I don't often stop at. Or only do when I need the coffee. However, this one we go out of our way to make sure that this is the first one we hit, and we time it to go to Starbucks here. So you know when you need that afternoon coffee, that's when we go to Epcot sometimes, or just make our way around the park for that. I've also noticed the drinks are exceptionally well done. The food is always, though it's prepackaged, it's always fresh, and it's really nice. And again, I say, even though this is basically the Disney World version of High School Musical's East High cafeteria, where they perform Stick to the Status Quo, does not hurt it. But that's not why it makes the list. It's a great location, and we love going there. Number 6 on our list is Communicore Hall and Plaza, specifically the Encanto show and the live entertainments, as well as the bathrooms, which is a weird one, but there's a reason why. So Communicore Hall and Plaza at Epcot were just put in quite recently. So I'm filming this in August 2024. So this was actually just a new addition within, I think it opened in June 2024, around when Tiana's Bayou Adventure opened. So that was when they had their grand opening. And it's a blend of a relaxation area as well as an entertainment area, plus having festival booths, eats, anything like that all year round. And then they do kind of like a little twist on it at times, so it is open all year round. You're also able to meet Mickey and friends, here, and so that's their new character greeting spot. Enjoy some of the seasonal offerings, such as, like I said, the festival offerings, and it has excellent AC, which is a wonderful break from the Florida heat, I have to admit. Outside, you can stroll through the gardens as well as take an enchanting light just break with these live performances. And as I said, I personally love the Celebraciano Encanto, which is an excellent musical show. I'm sure you could find a kind of view through on YouTube. And it originally was wrapping up on September the 6th, 2024. However, it has been extended into October. They had just announced it. And I can understand why. This is an absolutely incredible show. And I truly do love it. And so does my family. Additionally, there are other shows that have been there or other live musical entertainment. And that also has been great. We've sat outside, we've enjoyed just our water or whatever treat we have. We listened to the live performance because live entertainment is always spot on at Walt Disney World, and just enjoy the sights and sounds. Additionally, they have some really clean, well-designed bathrooms here that are very much tucked away, and I haven't seen them ever be busy when we visited them over the summer since it's opening. And I have to say, go here because they're very well done. They're very clean. Not that Disney World's bathrooms aren't clean, but something like the Tangled bathrooms, for instance, in Magic Kingdom, are often overrun just due to the popularity. But these are very tucked away, very quiet, and very well designed. So, please, go check out Communicore Hall and Plaza at Epcot, especially the Encanto show, if you can. Next up, we have La Cantina de San Angel, which is specifically, we're going here for the nachos. This is honestly a traditional quick service restaurant. I've heard it compared to Taco Bell at times. It's outdoors, which is main to note because there's no air-conditioned seating and you are not shielded from any weather that's currently happening. However, once you take a nice little left turn into the World Showcase, and I don't know who goes left to Canada or who goes right to Canada, so sorry. We only go left here. We always start at Mexico first, but this quick service location offers Mexican favorites such as tacos, empanadas, queso, guacamole, other things like churros, and traditional just popsicles. There's also nachos here. I can't tell you why I love them, but I really do love them. They're not anything unlike nachos you could get at other traditional Mexican quick service restaurants, but they're really great. We will specifically come for nachos at times. Sometimes we'll be sitting at home, and home I mean whatever resort we're staying at, I can go for nachos tonight. You want to go? These are not authentic to Mexico. These are nothing like that. But there's something about what they do with the ground beef, with the queso cheese, the chips, sitting outside. It is amazing. And I actually prefer them with a Sprite. So, just letting everybody know that they are here. We really do love sitting at the World Showcase Lagoon and enjoying them. And as we truly travel the World Showcase, this is generally where we stop on one of our first adventures. So please, go enjoy. Number 8 on this Epcot Top 10 list is a Via Napoli Ristorante e Pizzeria in Epcot, and I could have butchered that. I apologize. But it is a cultural journey of southern Italy, says the website, with a menu that offers everything from fried risotto balls to lasagna to authentic Napoleon. I'm not going to say this properly. I apologize. Neapolitan. There we go! Pizza. And it's made with ingredients that are actually imported from Italy. And if I'm not mistaken, they can't import the water in Italy. However, they tried to go somewhere in North America and they were able to get water from, let's say, a spring or a river that's nearly as close to authentic water that they would use to make this pizza in Italy, and they import it from there. I could be wrong. I cannot remember. I apologize. But oh my word, this pizza is excellent. I highly recommend you get advanced reservations because it books up pretty quickly. My family and I'm talking my mom, my cousins, my husbands, myself, my husband's. I only have one. That was weird. My husband, myself, my dad, who does not often come to Walt Disney World with us. We all love this restaurant. There's food for the entire family. The food and the drink. My cousin, one of my older cousins, she's not older, she's younger than me, but one of my cousins, who is older now, whoa, words, says that the drinks here are excellent and absolutely incredible. I would highly recommend it. And it's one of the best places to go in Walt Disney World, let alone just to get authentic Italian food within the Orlando area. Again, I highly recommend this restaurant. Number 9 on this list is the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival topiaries. Not just the festival, but the topiaries. So, scattered throughout Epcot during the Epcot's International Flower and Garden Festival, which dates vary, but it's usually within the spring, there are various elaborately designed topiaries that go within the width of the park, and they feature some of the favorite scenes and characters from Disney's animated features. I've seen Peter Pan, I've seen The Lion King, of course the classic Mickey and Minnie Mouse and all of their friends. There's quite a few, and they usually match whatever land you are in. So if you're in England, they have Pooh Bear. If they have, I'm just trying to go through all of them. England, they have Pooh Bear. Peter Pan is also in England. I'm just trying to think of all of them. They're just excellently done, but there are others that aren't representative of the country that you're in. These topiary gardens are truly an art of living plant and just the coolest shapes, and I do not understand how they do it. However, I did a little bit of research and understood that there are different types of topiary Walt Disney uses. There are 4 different topiary designs, such as freeform, standing form, they have shrubs, they have another word that I'm not even going to say, I cannot pronounce words for the life of me today, to take these shapes and frames and the weight of the actual figure, and they configure them to look like these Disney characters. I think they're incredibly well done and phenomenal to see. The horticulture specialists, whoever crafts these, do an exceptional year. Apparently, there are close to 100 topiaries on display at Epcot within the year during the festival, which is phenomenal as they do it as well as the maintenance. I think actually, and I discussed this in the last Hey Disney Top 10 about Magic Kingdom, I'm not a huge Peter Pan fan. However, I think the Peter Pan and Captain Hook from this last year were absolutely phenomenally done and one of the better ones. That, as well as I really like the Encanto ones that they've done. I just think that they do a great job, and those are not easy figures to shape, let alone any of them are easy, but those are not easy figures to shape, and I think they did an incredible work of art doing this within the festival as well as just Epcot itself, and brings a new light to Epcot. Last but certainly not least, on our Hey Disney Top 10 series for Epcot, we have the Epcot Concert Series. So, each year, Epcot provides 2 concert series a few times nightly on select nights in the American Gardens within the American Pavilion and the park. Access to these concerts are complimentary, and they come with your ticket or your annual pass. So you could be there, your dates line up, and you're maybe able to see an artist you really like, or an artist that you never knew and you just got to see it. It also provides the opportunity for local music artists to play the stage, as well as huge names such as Boyz II Men. Somehow they've been here. I think Daughtry was also here. That was cool. There are so many different iconic artists as well as incredible local artists that are able to play and hit the stage. See what I did there? They made a hit. They hit the stage. Okay, anyways. So the Each of the Beat concert series accompanies the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, which usually happens within the fall. And the Garden Rocks Concert Festival series happens with the International Flower and Garden Festival. So if you're interested in these, I'd suggest you take a look at the current roster for either festival. And if you would like to plan your trip according to, they never guarantee who is coming. For instance, there's no concert schedule for next year's Flower and Garden Festival. However, you can kind of see, based on the roster they had last year, who may or may not come back. Boyz II Men is usually a staple, I will have to say, every fall. Their dates have varied. I've seen them come in September. I've seen them come in November. So, again, just as you're planning that, but you can generally see who is coming. They're often repeat, as well as some really incredible new artists. And these concert series are wonderful. I love seeing them. I think it is so much fun that you're able to do this with park admission, and you sit outside and just listen to the artist, whether it be the local artist or the absolute most famous artist they may have. It's just really nice added Epcot experience and brings some lively fun to the park. And so remember I said about Daughtry? As a side note, I miss Daughtry. He's been here twice. I've missed Daughtry every time he plays. I love Daughtry. So does my mom. My mom likes Daughtry a little bit more than I do. Okay, a little bit more. But I really like him. He's incredibly talented. And as a total side note to this one, I've missed Jesse McCartney every single time he's come to Orlando. And he plays at the House of Blues in Disney Springs. It's one of those. It's like how we miss Daughtry at Epcot. We miss Jesse McCartney within days. And we can never move our trip. And it's pained my mom and I respectively each time. I love Jesse McCartney. I grew up as a Disney Channel kid. There we go. We all understand that. Okay, thank you so much. Boyz II Men we also sometimes miss, but we don't always miss. But that one sells out in seconds. So I highly suggest, and the sellout is in loose terms, but people line up for this. Boyz II Men is always the most popular. So I would suggest that you get a dining package, which the dining package, you book the ticket, you get a quote ticket for a reserved seating location. When you book an either, let's say, Eat to the Beat concert series, whatever restaurant's participating in that, you're able to get a concert ticket dining package where you have reserved seating, so you guarantee that you get a seat, and it's a really good seat. Again, highly suggest. I didn't do that justice. I was chatting, so I highly suggest you check that one out. And that is why that one makes our top 10. Though we wrapped up the top 10 for Hey Disney Top 10, Epcot in general, you know I can't stop talking. And I also can't just choose 10. So, I have 2 more honorable mentions. This is less than Magic Kingdom, everyone. Let's note that one. So, I have 2 honorable mentions that had to make the list, and they will be short. I promise, these will be short. So our first one is the Canada Pavilion only for Dare Maple Cookies. Okay, so anybody who lives in Canada 110% knows what a Dare Maple Cookie is. I really like these. This is generally probably a stereotype that Canada has maple syrup and maple things. However, I love these cookies. They honestly don't taste that much like maple at all. I have exclusively gone to Epcot, gone to the pavilion to buy a box of cookies just because I wanted it. I've also done the Aero Bar because those are very hard to find. You have to find a grocery store with an international section there because apparently they're not sold often in the United States, and they're seen as either a British or a Canadian treat. It's total side note. So these are very hard to find, and one day I just wanted them. So we drove over to Epcot, we went in, I grabbed the box of cookies that I'm pretty sure with the exchange was nearly $10, and you can get them at, mind you, the grocery store with inflation now is probably $6, but at the time I'm saying it was probably only a $3 box. But I just really wanted these cookies, and they hit the spot. So that is why I had to put that in the honorable mention. Second of all is the Friendship Boat over to Hollywood Studios. So this isn't necessarily in Epcot. It's a method of transportation to get to Epcot between Epcot, the Epcot resorts, as well as Hollywood Studios. I just think it's a really nice alternative to the Skyliner, personally, or walking. I am very afraid of heights, so I don't go on the Skyliner, no way, no how. I'm also afraid of getting stuck on it. I'm a joy on ski trips, because when you have to take a chairlift or like a method of transportation like the Skyliner, I'm like, nope, standing on the ground, I'm not doing it. But one day I'm going to try the Skyliner, I promise you. But I think the Friendship Boats are very relaxing. You can go over and transfer to the Epcot resorts, such as the Boardwalk, the Yacht and Beach Club, and the Swan and Dolphin. They're just sometimes a little bit nicer than taking the walk, because you're having somebody else drive you. If you're like me and love being on boats and love being on water, it's just a nice relaxing ride and a nice addition to the day. Just remember that these do close in inclement weather, and sometimes because they both get full and you have a capacity limit, you might have to wait for the next boat, just like the bus. But it's a really great addition to Epcot, and I think it's really nice to ride between Epcot, Hollywood Studios, or any other resorts. So that's why those made our honorable mentions. So everyone, that about wraps up our Hey Disney Top 10 from Epcot, with our top 10 choices that we believe are the best in Epcot, as well as 2 honorable mentions. But we know, as Walt Disney's original Epcot was never moved forward, it laid the groundwork for the current Epcot, a theme park to retain the core spirit of Walt Disney's vision. Epcot's 2 distinct areas between Future World, it reprises the idea of showcasing modern innovation through educational entertainment or infotainment and attractions, as well as the World Showcase to highlight the various cultures of the nation. All what, again, the original Epcot vision was. With that, we take our top 10 and we move forward to the future to help us, and hopefully it provided you some infotainment and attraction to join us next week for another Hey Disney Top 10. What did you think of our Epcot Top 10? Did you agree with it? Did you disagree? Leave us a comment and let us know. With that, we cannot wait to see you real soon back on Happily Adventures After. Don't forget to check out the corresponding blog post to get a little bit more insight on this. We'll see you next Wednesday. Have a great, blessed, and wonderful day.